That's the reason I think we want to get here for things like that. And your project over there, and my projects,
Well, it turned them projects.
yeah, you
And Dwight, I think it is ready. I'm just passing this around because we just need to see it. They can get inside of it.
American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Let us pray. God, I thank you for another opportunity to serve our people. God, I pray that you give us great stewardship, wisdom, knowledge, wisdom to know what to do and knowledge to know how to do it. God, continue to let us be good stewards of everything that you give us, land, resources, everything, God. Just let us be wise in how we handle the business of the county. Lord, I pray for all of those who fight to protect us, not just locally, but nationally. God, I pray for wisdom on those leaders, those in charge. And God, also give us foresight of knowing what to prepare for and how to handle it when it comes up. Be with us all in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
So before we get started, FYI, new cameras are installed. We may have.
And they're oh so
adjust
clear.
them on this.
Wow, they are.
That's good.
Okay, the first item on the agenda, well, the public comments, and I have two, but I'm gonna reserve these for budget time. It looks like they're budget issues, correct? And, so we'll talk about those, and then there's a public comment time. Mr. Adams?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a public comment time where you can, comment about the taxes, if that's, okay. All right, let's move on down to the consent agenda. And I just have one thing to add that came in a little late after I sent out the agenda, and that was a another electric stapler that needed to be put on the disposal list. So it's not a huge item, but so any questions or anything else on the consent agenda? Or do I hear a motion with that addition?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda with the change.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, let's move on down to the regular agenda. And the first item is to consider and or approve the updated airport lease agreement with TFS. So this has taken forever and to no fault of our own. Our county attorney, Craig, had sent this over to TFS for their approval, and they sent it to legal, and legal had it forever. And they made like two tiny little changes, and that was it. And I think you all, the attached was the redded changes that they made, which were like, we put the Texas Forest Service and they're just the Texas Forest Service. And then there was the one line about that either party can cancel within a 90-day with a written 90-day written notice. Only changes. So y'all have any questions on that, or do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept and approve the updated airport lease agreement with the Texas Forest.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Did we get a billing address on where we need to send their bills, or will they be paying with a credit card or?
I don't know yet, but we'll find that out because
And
we
we'll
have,
go back to July.
it says July. Yeah. Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, the next item is to consider and or approve the uniform policy. Just made a couple of changes as per our conversation last time. And I think hopefully we've got everything clarified. Did anybody have any questions? Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the uniform policy as presented.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you. All right, item 3 is to consider and or approve the joint election service agreement between the city of Sanford and Hutchinson County.
And Craig has reviewed and approves this agreement.
Do I hear a motion?
You need more explanation?
No, I move to approve the interlocal agreement between the joint election services between the city of Sanford and Hutchinson County.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, item 4 is to consider and or approve changes to TCDRS employer matching and or COLA. Amy. And I attached the information that you sent, so everyone has that.
Did everybody get that? Do y'all have any questions on?
So it's been how long since we've given like a COLA for
The
that-
last was 2014, I believe. And, so I kind of gave y'all a few different scenarios on the COLA with the 2%. It's not going to affect the budget. We do already pay the 11.55%, which is we overfund it. We overfund it for the reason if there's a whole bunch of people that retired at once, it helps kind of keep our proposed percentage rate down. Sometimes if you're just paying the proposed, then there's times that you might have to send like a lump sum to your retirement system. So it's really just building up to where we won't ever
have some.
that. So when I sent these proposed plans, if we went up to the 200%, which is kind of an average of most counties, instead of the 190, and if we did a COLA, a 3% flat COLA, that one would be 10.73% would be our proposed. However, we still pay the 11.55%. So if we ever had gotten a situation where we needed to lower that down, we could do that as well. But this would be the proposed rate for 2027. It always fluctuates, but it normally don't fluctuate. The only time I've seen it really go high over that 9, where it's sitting at 7, 9, was during COVID. So it did go up to that 11.55%, and that's kind of why we've just kept it at the 11.55. So we just we overfund the retirement service.
Is there a reason why, since it's 2014 reviewed, is this just normal?
It is like
year.
they suggest to do this about every 10 years.
Okay.
So to give a COLA, just because, things are
Changing?
high right
Yes.
now. Yeah. So, and then that way they can get the retirees can get some kind of pay raise. But what I would like, my proposal would be doing the 2% plus the 3% COLA for the retirees. That's what I would like if y'all.
200%, 3%.
Correct. And that would put the percentage at the 10.73%.
Okay. Y'all have any questions for Amy? I hear a motion.
I move to, accept the proposed rate that the treasurer's office has presented regarding the TCDRS employer matching and our COLA rate
At the 200.
at the 200 and the 3%.
Thank you.
All right, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, item 5 is to consider and or approve the 2026-2027 Rural Sheriff's Office Salary Assistance Program. This is the, SB 22 money. So we made the application, they approved our application. This is just the agreement that we have with them. Craig has reviewed the agreement, no changes. He's approved that. So we just need to approve that so I can get it docu-signed and the sheriff can get his additional money. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the 26-27 Rural Sheriff's Office Salary Assistant Program Grant Agreement.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 6 is to consider and or approve declaring September 2026 as Hunger Action Month. The High Plains Food Bank sends us this information. September is Hunger Action Month, and so they sent us this last year also. It just says that we recognize September as Hunger Action Month and call for the observance to the attention of our citizens. So do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the declaring September 26 Hunger Action Month.
Did we have a second?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 7 is to consider and or approve moving $20,000 from contingency to the JP1 autopsy line item, 100-457-4050. So she doesn't go over. I don't know. Is she already over? Oh,
So this just moves to get it. there.
you're already there.
Yes, I'm already there. This has been just one of those years. I know I've talked about it.
Yeah, next year might be completely different. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Um,
We hope.
it's been years that I
Yeah.
haven't, but this year sadly, it has come to that.
Any questions for Judge Ford? Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve moving $20,000 from contingency to JT1 autopsy line item.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? This is it. All right, item 8 is to consider and or approve $1,000 bond for Jessica Hebard, Administrative Assistant, Juvenile Department. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the $1,000 bond for Jessica Hybrid.
I don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah. But anyway, however you pronounce it.
Does anybody know?
Hibbert.
Hibbard.
Hibbert.
All right, we have a motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, item 9 is to consider and or approve construction of an overhead electrical line approximately 0.16 miles east of the intersection of County Road X and County Road 25. Dwayne did email me and say that he did go out and look at that. Everything looks good with that. So do I hear a motion?
Move to approve construction of the overhead electric line approximately 0.16 miles east of the intersection of County Road X, County Road 25.
I'll second.
Oh,
Okay, we have motion and seconds. Any further discussion? All in favor? Right, item 10 is to consider and or approve funds received from an insurance claim from the Canadian Bridge Fire in the amount of $14,110. Alan.
So the city of Borger actually filed a claim with Gibson and Associates for the fire. The dollar amount that is attributed back to the county is $14,110. I don't know what the total amount was of the claim that was put in. But that's the information that I received. And Borger has the check for the total amount on that fire.
Do we need to authorize where it goes or it just goes in operating fund?
It should just go to the general.
General fund.
Or general? Okay.
I mean, that's mainly attributed to the county resources, you know, that we had there.
We have a line item for insurance claim proceeds.
Any other questions or do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the funds received from an insurance claim from the Canadian Bridge Fire in the amount of $14,110.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, 11 is update on ARP grant projects. We're about to take that off the agenda. I don't think we have anything. Item 12, consider and or approve the burn ban or rescind burn ban.
So we need to leave the burn ban in place. Our county average is 668 on the KBD app. That's up 21 from our last meeting. The south side of the river is an exceptional drought, and north of the river is extreme drought, according to them. So
No action on that one. Item 13, consider and or approve request for the use of the club rooms at the Borger Library or Fridge.
I don't have anything new.
I don't have anything new.
Item 14, consider and or approve line item changes, transfers and or budget amendments.
Amendment for the museum donations that were approved for July 2026, and then several department line item transfers.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the line item changes, transfers, or budget amendments.
Second? Anybody?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Right. Not in pocket at the same time. All right, item 16, consider and or approve any donations to Hutchinson County.
back to one.
Oh, what? Did I miss one?
15.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, hold on, Andy. Miss 15, consider and or approve advertising, opening, accepting or awarding bids. We have one bid proposal.
Yes, so the annex generator advertisement for the go out. That's
Well, if we approve it.
Friday, they approved it this Friday paper and the next paper.
And that's the only one we have. So do I hear a motion to go out for bids for the generator at the annex, the generator project?
I move to go out for bids for the generator to annex.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. And this is, just for clarification, this is mainly from the grant that we received. So most of this is going to be paid for.
correct.
Yeah, by that grant. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right, now we'll move down to 16. Consider and or approve donations to Hutchinson County. Andy, you have a check?
Yes,
All right.
so the sheriff would be here, but he has a doctor's appointment and he couldn't cancel. And he asked if I could read this. Okay, so reference to a donation to Hudson County Sheriff's Office. It's through the generosity of our communities in Hudson County that we have been established to manage and grant funds to the deserving responder organizations in our county. It is with pleasure that we, the board of the HCRF, have identified the Hudson County Sheriff's Office as a recipient of some of this year's funds. Please find with this letter a check in the sum of $6,500. We understand that you have identified several unbudgeted needs and would like to assist you in acquiring these. And one of them is for moving targets at the range, and the other is for booster packs for the patrol vehicles. And it was signed by Kenny Morrison, president of the Hudson County Responders Foundation.
Oh, nice.
Here's the check.
Boy, Amy stands in a hurry.
Do we need a photo op of?
Copy of that.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
Well, so can have it with.
Yeah, I sure will.
You're not leaving, are you, Chief?
No, I'm.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll do it after. Andy can't leave. All right, do I hear a motion to approve that donation?
To approve the $6,500 from the HCRF for the sheriff's department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any other donations out there? Okay. Right, item 17, discussion of county judges and commissioners precinct daily operations. Let me just start by recognizing our county clerk's office for the achievement that they received or recognition for outstanding elections website. So we are very proud of y'all, and I know that's well deserved. They do lots of work. And then also, let me just point out the library and their successful summer reading program. I think Nancy said attendance was 2002. Discovery Center, they broke attendance records at all 3 branches. Attendance at the Dome for the Traveling Dinosaur was 781. So you guys, wow, you outdid yourselves. So good job. Anybody have anything else? I hope I didn't forget to recognize someone.
So the camera project in the jail is completed.
Awesome. Yay. I know the jail's happy. Anybody else have anything in their precinct?
Just a high period. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on to struck off property. I don't have any.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do? Sorry. I didn't make a copy of it.
Again.
Oh, yay. Right,
There was one here, that,
right. Did not.
it is lots 1 and 2, block 128, original town sites, and that's parcel 1472. It's, can you pull that up? It's, Gorman and, Farmer Street. They come together. It's the south end where Gorman and come to a point.
I won't touch that.
That there, that triangle right
I must
there
have
you're
forgot to
looking at.
attach it. I just sent it to Ben.
No.
You see Gorman and Farmer, so
You'll send it to me.
Yes, that would go back down,
I don't know where it's at.
bring your arrow down,
yes,
that one. The south end of that triangle right there. Yeah. It's the south part of that. It's just that triangle.
Oh, just that little triangle right there?
Yeah, that's all it is.
And what was the bid?
500.
Your recommendation?
Move to accept the bid of $500 for parcel 1472. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay.
And that was from Nicholas Duran. I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. All right, item 19, we're gonna adjourn into an executive session, section 551.071, consultation with attorney. So if everyone just wants to have a seat outside.
One of those days.
I will be too.
Be there. I don't want to be here this big day. No, I didn't. Yeah, no, so I did last night. It just, well, I didn't take the 24-hour urine test. I got that stuff off this morning. When I.
Oh, you had to do that?
That appointment. I'm out there at 10 in the month early.
Yeah.
And then I had dropped by Kobe Oates.
And that's right.
Opened back those license plate cameras.
Okay, we went out at 9:56 and back in at 10:09. And so at this time, consider and or approve any action from executive session.
Move to approve the county attorney to create a claim in the amount of $5,000 from contingency funds for pending federal litigation.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, at this time, we will have our public hearing on our proposed tax rate and proposed salaries. And Mr. Adams, you have the floor.
Thank you. Commissioners, ladies, when I bring this up, I'll probably talked to one of y'all a couple of times. You're probably gonna remember, but I've been searching for land. Just maybe I want to move out of the city or maybe just purchase for future use later on down. But when I go through and start looking at the taxes, who owns the land and what's being owed or who hasn't paid. And I believe I was told that it has to be a certain amount before it turned over to the attorneys before they start doing the process of trying to get the land back, get the taxes paid, or go to public auction. And I'm up to number 26 of acreages of land in Hudson County. That's over $2,000. And I know y'all are busy and you got your plates full. And I'm working on two now. There's one gentleman that hadn't paid in over 24 years. And it's almost 3 acres out by the lake. 24 years that no taxes ever been paid on this. And the other one is 18 years. And there's anywhere, they range anywhere from 3 to, like I said, close up to 30 years that nobody's paid taxes on. And like I said, I know y'all are busy. But when y'all start wanting to raise our rates, and we have, like I said, I think I said what, 26 different parcels of land and acres and just around Fridge and Border. And I just stopped because, you know, it gets boring looking at everything and I get tired. I don't want to look no more, but these people hadn't paid, and we can get these lands sold and get people maybe to build on them like I'm trying to do, because the guy that hadn't paid in over 20 years, you know, the taxes are minimal, like $120 a month. You know, if I build on it, they're going to skyrocket exponentially on this, you know, and I don't know the process of how people go through here. If there's somebody just takes their time and goes through and takes a look and say, oh, this guy ain't paid 20 years. You see how much he owes and put it on the books. You know, turn over attorneys. But there's too much land out here that people hadn't paid taxes on, and y'all want to raise people who does pay taxes. We need to maybe address this issue. And even if they don't sell or sell for $500 or whatever, people are going to pay the taxes, even if it's $125 a year. It's some money better than nothing. And man, I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to snatch some of these up. So anyway, that's what I have to say. If I know y'all can't comment, but that's my take on this, and I appreciate y'all would maybe looking this a little further for us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments.
If you'd call me afterwards, I'll tell you the process.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else want to speak during our public hearing time? Okay, if not, we'll move on to our budget workshop. Yeah, budget. And we have Fritz Volunteer Firefighter Association here. You're Bobby?
Yes, ma'am.
Bobby
Stein,
Stein. Okay.
Low Court. This is Bobby Stein. I'm the president of the Fridge Volunteer Firefighter Association. I've come before y'all to humbly ask for an increase in our budget for the firefighting, for the fire department. This ask is not unwarranted. Over the past 2 years, we've had a 63% increase in calls to the county, outside the city, to county customers, patients, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I was just coming to ask if we could get an increase of $10,000.
Okay, anything else?
No, ma'am. Do you
All
have any
right.
questions for us?
Y'all have any questions? No?
I will add that, you know, a 63% increase sounds like a lot. Over the past couple of years, we've kind of dedicated ourselves to make every medical call. And that's where a lot of this increase comes from. In the past, the EMS crews would get to the scene. And then if the house was locked, or if it was a rather large patient, then they would ask us to respond. So in the past couple of years, we've been responding to everything, whether they asked us or not, just in case we ran into some situation like that. So the patient didn't have to wait another 5 to 10 minutes for us to respond. So that's a big reason for the 63% increase.
That was outside the city limits.
Yes, sir. All outside city limits in the county.
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Let's see, Ashley, do you wanna? You always. Yeah. Morning.
Before I start, I was gonna ask, did y'all watch, we've been on the road the other day, last Tuesday.
I saw some of it on Facebook.
Yeah. We shared it on Facebook.
Y'all did a great job.
Thank you.
You did.
You did a great job. And come visit us to promote our museum and what we stand for. And he's gonna come back. It's gonna be a reoccurring thing.
Sweet.
Because he didn't get to share all about what all we do, so. I'm before y'all today, because I was always under the impression that, when department heads get raises, that the court determined them on like how we do you start for 90 days, you do this much, then you bump up and bump up. And then I spoke with Judge and, she told me I needed to write a proposal and present it to you guys. So, anyway, I'm here to ask for a salary increase for myself and also for my administrator, Dee Dee. You can see I wrote down a lot of many things that we do. I feel like we've improved the museum together as a team. Clay before me, he was a great graphic design artist. He had a degree. He made what his degree reflected, but I have 21 years of service with the county. And I brought all of my relationships with everyone in the community. I brought those with me that I had brought from the library. I just use them in a different capacity. So that's what I was asking for today. I don't know how I'm nervous. Don't know why. It's standing behind the podium. Nervous. So.
Y'all have any questions for Ashley? They've all seen your proposal,
Okay.
So.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have some discussion.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you. Go watch Irwin on the road. It's on our Facebook.
Yep. Angelica or Constable Pyrak, did you want to make another presentation?
Did all of y'all receive my email that I sent? So, last time whenever we spoke, I did not have this information, so I just wanted to present it for y'all to see in writing all the fees of office that each agency, Ramsey County, makes in revenue from serving citations. I know the sheriff's office does a little bit more, earns revenue. So they have different things that they do, is why their numbers are up a lot, but I just wanted to present this to y'all to show that my office is the only office that continues to rise, sorry, in revenue versus the other offices. So I just want y'all to really take that under consideration whenever looking at, again, the possibility of me getting a part-time deputy. That's also going to be 2 days out of the entire year, just to kind of fill in the gaps whenever I'm gone, or I have other things going on, or I need extra help for my office. So do y'all have any questions that y'all have for me on this?
Of the fees, like how many of these, I mean, what's your thoughts or like on those fees that actually come out of the JP2 court? Or are those from a different court usually?
Say that one more time.
Well, like the papers that you serve, are they all out of JP2 court or?
No. So the other sheet that I did give y'all does have like breakdowns of where those.
It didn't, nothing came, it was nothing attached, or I couldn't get anything.
Did y'all not have the documentation attached, like the actual, besides this? Did y'all have anything
I
else?
couldn't get it to open.
Yeah, it was, oh, you had to extract it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
let me,
familiar with the-
I have just one paper.
I can see.
So I'll kind of give y'all each one, that way you can kind of see if y'all share that one. And then y'all can kind of look at these. You have this one? Oh, okay, okay, yeah, you have to unzip that file, but if you look, you can see kind of like this one is just mainly JP1, all of JP1, this is the sheriff's office, and they have different stuff like district clerk. They just have different places that it comes out of. And I'll borrow that real quick. And then so here are mine. This was like the first year, see, they're all JP2, but then you go to the second year and you can see district clerk, JP2. There should be some JP1 stuff, and that stuff is what I get mainly through the mail. There's only been one time that I've had to help serve out of the JP court. And but those fees are not reflected in mine. They were reflected in JP1's court. But that just kind of shows like DC is all the district clerk stuff. But these are all the documentations that were in there. So I serve out of different courts, just because I get stuff, like I said, mailed into me. I get the stuff out of district clerk's office, all the tax, delinquent taxes that I serve. I get all the child support. Most of all the child support stuff from the Office of the Attorney General.
And that all comes from the district clerk's office?
Yes.
So you've actually told them, hey, I'll serve all your papers, right?
Yes, because in the beginning, I had an understanding with the sheriff's office that I would help with the service of the papers, so that way they could continue to do the calls for service, because I don't do calls for service. So like whenever somebody calls 911 and they respond, I'm not on the rotation to respond to calls like that. So you know, I did have a discussion with the sheriff's office whenever I first came on to help them with their civil service. So I kept my promise and did what I was supposed to do. But in the in the time that, so it's been about 4 years since I've taken office. I have also received a bunch of recommendations to go towards my office. I've also received stuff from the professional civil process that they've asked me to go ahead and serve all their stuff. Of course, out of district stuff, other constables saying, hey, you have a working constable in this county, send your out of county stuff to her, she'll serve it. And I've not had any issues with anybody, with the service part of it. So I've built up my office in that sense, because if you look at the first year, if I had only kept going with just what I had began to do with the district clerk's office, I would have stayed pretty stagnant. But it's risen because of the fact of out of county papers also come to me. So I think it's just more of a word of mouth, and they send stuff to me to serve now because they know that I'll get it served in.
Okay. Y'all have any questions? Anything else?
Like I just said, I just want y'all to consider, that this position is only gonna be a little over $5,000 for the entire year, for the entire budget to put in that line item to help me do my job successfully. And I would hope that y'all would look at that and consider that my office does generate, I mean, it's not a ton of revenue, but it is enough revenue to cover those services. So that way we can make sure and get these people their papers in a timely manner and not be last minute serving papers that, are pretty critical on some people's ends. I mean, they don't want to get a 24-hour notice that they have to be in court or anything like that. So we want to make sure that everybody's getting served in a timely manner, especially whenever I can't be there for trainings or anything like that. We want to make sure that these people are getting the services they need. The courts are getting bailiffed like they need whenever I'm gone, and they need a scheduled court because they only have a certain amount of days after somebody's served to schedule courts as well.
I'm curious. I think I asked you on the phone that day. What did they do before Angelica Hart? What did Hudson County do before you? I mean, how'd they survive before all these extra things?
Honestly, I don't know how things functioned back before I was a constable. As you can see, the fees of office were only $5,500 in fees that were collected through the year, the first year that I, took office. So I'm really not sure how things functioned before. I just know that the first couple of years, I mean, as everybody knows, you take office, you're kind of fumbling through, you're trying to figure out how this works, how to do your job correctly. And as time's gone on, I've gone to enough trainings and had good mentors with other constables to know that this is my job. This is what my job consists of. I can't speak for any other constable that's been in my position because I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what the other constable does. I just know by law, I do what I'm supposed to, and this is what it consists of. If I have papers come to me, I have to serve them. It's not like I have a choice. So I'm just doing what should be done in my position, and I can't speak for anybody else.
So if you felt overwhelmed, could you say no to some stuff?
No, because if it comes to me, I have to serve it. So, that's what it is. Like, y'all know how I am. I'm out all the time. I'm working constantly. So if something comes to me, even if it's on a weekend, if I have somebody say, hey, I can't be there until Friday or Saturday, I accommodate their schedules most of the time. So if I get overwhelmed with stuff, it's just literally going to come down to the fact of I'm going to have to extend my hours out to accommodate other people, like coming out on Saturday mornings. So that way I can get people served that aren't there throughout the week, or, work out of town, or whatever the case may be. I try to do everything and anything I can to do my job effectively. The only thing that it's going to do, and the way it's going to affect my office, is it's just going to slow those services, because I'm going to have to accommodate for the more you know, the more papers I get, I'm gonna have to accommodate for. So I'm gonna get it done one way or another. It's just how fast I can get it done is gonna.
So when you ran for this office, it became bigger now that you've been serving.
Correct. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is that I don't think a lot of people understand, and I hope this helps, is that under my position, I'm a police officer first. Okay, so I have to be a police officer to do this. And I don't think a lot of people understand until they get into the constable position that you're a police officer, but now you're added on everything that a police officer is bound by law. And now we're actually adding on the civil process side of it. So now I have kind of two jobs combined into one. Now I don't have to take service calls, which helps me get out and serve the, you know, people, that stuff. But I mean, I still have to, like anybody else, have the tools to do my job. So yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for asking questions. Appreciate it.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank y'all. Thanks, I think that's it.
Lisa, do you have anything on budget?
At one point you had talked about a nuisance stopping. I don't know if anything that we decided on that.
Oh, what? I can't hear you.
A nuisance stipend was talked about, and I don't know if anything was ever decided upon that. And then we did have to change the district attorney's supplement.
Yes,
From what we had
I had that.
talked about.
So, on that supplement, Commissioners Court may supplement the state prosecutor's state salary. And, you know, we decided to drop the DAs to 17, but it can't be lower, an amount less than the compensation it pays its highest paid district judge. That's the law. So we just put it back up at 25.
Okay.
It's at 24 now. It would have been 25 once we give the raise. So just left it at 25. Left it there.
And then we did have to add $6,000 for Odyssey to the IT department. We got a letter from Tyler stating what they were gonna charge us for this next year. I have just a question on what to do with the student annex on the capital improvement.
Did you send that to Alicia?
No, I just got it. You talking about this system? Yeah, I just
Yeah.
got that.
Did y'all get that? Did you?
I just
did you-
made copies of it. I
Oh.
figured out. And it's just a rough estimate, but
Yes, some copies don't.
we didn't do bids. Just got enough architectural done to get a rough ideas.
Right now, we've got 225 in the budget for next year.
That's what's in there for now.
So that'll get us started.
Huh?
That would get us started.
That would get us started later. Year. Time you do engineering and finish the architectural stuff and everything, it's gonna be a few months down the road anyway. Before you can even go out for bids. But like that estimate does not cover engineering, architecture and
Well,
such.
it says architecture and engineering, 22,000. Says that at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be everything though. But this isn't a bid, this is just a.
Right, right. It's just an estimate. So do you have a recommendation on that or what do y'all think?
What does that include? Flooring, lighting?
All of this stuff that it lists right there.
Everything listed,
Windows, doors, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, well, the HVAC's done.
Or we could do this time next year and have actual bids and everything to go by that. So. Either way.
I mean, we're gonna have to go out for bids for all of this.
Yeah, we will.
So maybe it would be better just to have more, concrete numbers from the bids.
If we did that, I'd like to leave some in there, like do outside painting and stuff, we could do that,
Right.
stuff like that, but not.
So we could reduce that.
Oh, yeah, considerably.
Okay. Are y'all okay with that? Go out for bids? Put it in next year.
Have bids already next year and that'd be set in stone.
Okay, that sounds good.
You need to reduce it.
What?
What do you want me to reduce it to?
How much do you think it'll cost to paint it?
I haven't. Got anybody look at that yet? There's quite a bit of stuff we could do there before we got to this point.
Well, do we need 225 or 220 in there?
No, I'd say about half of that. There's
150? 150?
Yeah, big money, yeah.
Okay.
That would be. Probably.
100
Mhm.
or 100? I just need a number.
Let's leave it at 150. I don't know how expensive it's gonna be to paint that.
No, it's not gonna be that expensive. We've already did the roof
What?
and all that stuff.
It's gonna be 150,000.
No,
No, it's not gonna be nothing like that, but. I'd say 125 would be.
okay. Anything else, Lisa?
All I have.
Okay, the nuisance was for, I think we had talked about having Alan do some of that. Is that correct?
I don't think we're there yet, honestly. I say just leave the nuisance at 25. Get our policy and our procedures set up, and then we'll figure out how we're going to pay somebody.
I thought we already did that.
Yeah,
Has it been approved through the court?
no, it has not been approved.
Right.
We
So,
talked about it in policy
So
committee.
we
Yeah.
talked about it, everything, it was sent to Craig. I need to get a response from that. But to have that policy, we need to have someone that's gonna do it. Otherwise, it's gonna be the same thing. We might as well not even.
no, we have
Okay.
nuisance money. But we would use that money, the 25,000, to pay the stipend out of or the case by case. So the money's there. We just haven't created the position yet. Cause
The 25 was just for,
I'd like to know what Alan's gonna do as nuisance officer. I'd like to know what everybody's gonna do. Yeah. Oh, we haven't spent any money on nuisance.
right,
Yeah. And if it's more than 25,000, then we'll say no. We won't do this or that. I mean, we haven't been doing anything for 30 years, so what's one more year?
Well, we have actually.
we did.
When Jerry.
Cleaned up
was
a couple
the-
properties.
Yeah.
He wanted so absolutely.
Yep.
But it wasn't really nuisance added to the septics, which is part of the nuisance, and that's part of the big problem that we're having. That's kind of why.
From your perspective as septic, I have a whole nother thing of property nuisance that we haven't even talked about yet.
Right, oh, I'm sure.
So whoever the nuisance officer has got to do more than just septic stuff. We need to have the plan, and will Alan have that kind of time? And I'm not saying, so I don't want to just like with Jerry, and no offense, but just give $10,000 and then nothing happened. So I want some accountability. Did this happen? Did this happen? And that person answered to the court. We got to set up the hierarchy structure, all of that stuff. So just to give a stipend without any hierarchy is just like, here's 10,000, let's see how it turns out. Doesn't make any sense, so. I mean, the court can do whatever it wants. I'm gonna vote no. So just let everybody know.
When Jerry was the emergency management coordinator and we had him working on that, he was very proactive with getting that stuff, you know, one at a time. But we didn't have a lot of money set aside for that. So, and it's so expensive to clean up property.
Cleaned up 2 properties since I've been commissioner. It is 17,000. To do 1 property back 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And the other,
And that's where the issue.
Exactly.
Because we have no structure, so we need that person.
and that in,
that
and
is-
hey, wait, let me finish. The way it was, reason why it was done incorrectly is because it was through the EMO, the emergency manager. So I came in and had to figure out the process. So it was done incorrectly before we came in, and it's still done incorrectly. So there's still a lot of details that need to be done before we just say, here you go, $10,000, hope this works out.
That's not what we were doing. We have a whole plan. I don't understand what you're saying because we have that.
We have a policy,
A policy.
but we don't have,
What to do. Notices you send out, when you send out the notices, who sends that out? We have a whole
Mhm.
structure.
but if I recall, Ben doesn't want the policy where they come and present to the court like it says in our policy.
Correct, but that's.
He doesn't want that.
Okay, well, that's one commissioner that doesn't agree upon that.
Right.
However,
So it hasn't come to court yet, is what I'm saying. It's not been approved by the court, this new policy that we're talking about. But why are we gonna put a position in that doesn't have any structure with it?
because everybody drags their feet for years and years.
Yes. So 25,000 and we'll get the policy in and then we can, if we create a stipend, we'll just pull it out of that.
Want to do that
Everybody,
in the middle of the year?
That line item is just nuisance.
we
You can use
can't
that
make
however you-
a new
You just,
line item. It's just
You just-
a nuisance line item in the maintenance
you just pull it out of it.
department.
I'm still advocate for paying case by case instead of saying, here's 10,000, hope you do your job. I'd rather be case by case. Here's a nuisance property, it's gone through the court.
You get paid $100 for every property. you
Yeah,
own.
and then when we run out of money, we say, I'm sorry, we can't deal with, or we can't do any more till next budget year.
She can't do that when it comes.
Oh, we've been doing it for 30 years.
TC.
Have we?
TC rules.
When have we been doing that?
Yes, sir.
I've been here 6 years. For septic, maybe, yes.
Yes, everything is in line for that. However, it's when I send that letter out that states that we're gonna take action, I did quit sending that out because we weren't taking action because there was no structure, and that's what I have been trying to get through. You know, we've had multiple complaints. I mean, we could have had multiple lawsuits easily on things that had happened, you know, and that is to prevent it, which I understand is not there yet, but for us to go ahead and budget for that, knowing that this is gonna happen,
And who's gonna hold,
I feel.
who's gonna hold
we need
the,
extra money for that.
well, we have 25,000 that we put in the budget for that, or 20,000. I don't know.
That's not a salary line item, so we couldn't pay a stipend out of that because it's just an operation expense like we would pay to.
You can pay per case out of that. It's like.
Like
you
contract?
Per case out of it, because it's not salary. Just like I pay
if you're
contractors out of
gonna
my building
pay-
maintenance.
You pay
You have to
Pay an
decide.
employee.
That's gonna say you're gonna have to decide what it's gonna be.
You pay a stipend and it's can't come out of it.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then, again, no offense to anybody who came before, but there was no accountability. It was just extra money.
What if we did a case by case basis, take that 25,000 out of nuisance down to 10,000 or 15,000 and then put a little bit in a stipend and then do it on a case by case basis if it ever happens. And then we've got the salary line item established, so if we do have to pay an employee to go and do something extra, that will qualify for this stipend, because it has to be reported on their W-2 as income.
Yeah.
And so it'll have to be in one of our salary line items. So if we took part of it out of nuisance, created a salary stipend, nuisance stipend, then you could do the case by case basis, but we would have the established line items, because if you don't, we can't establish a new line item later on.
That sounds good. I'm okay to go 10 in nuisance and then 15 in stipend or salary. Or not salary, stipend or case by case. Yeah. Because I know you'll probably think I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been dealing with nuisance for 6 years trying to figure this out.
Can you pull case by case out of the salary line item since it's not?
Yes, because you're paying an employee. You're telling them when to go do something and have to go do it. So it is an employee.
Okay.
Who will be responsible for deciding when the case by case is going to be paid?
Well, by law, it's supposed to come through commissioner's court.
Okay. So they'll just put it on the agenda and y'all will approve to pay for it, and then they'll
Yes.
just.
And in our policy, the resident can come in, or we will present the properties and say, is this worth investigation? Is this something we're going to move forward based on the policies that will be presented?
And you probably will need
So
to
every
determine,
subject,
you probably need to determine the rates that you're going to pay on a case by case basis. All that will have to go through
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
so every time we get a complaint, we need to take it to court.
That's what your policy says. Not a complaint, but investigation.
No, that's after.
After it goes through court.
Multiple letters.
Yes.
But how is he gonna, when he's prior to that point, when he has to go with Jeremy just to go see if there's an issue, how are we gonna pay him?
Yeah, so if we have the stipend set up, see, we don't have the policy yet.
Say-
We haven't worked the policy out to make a determine about what they're going to do.
Maybe we can get that on. the-
Yes, I was hoping it was already there. I've told my constituents for 4 weeks, we'd probably have it up sometime. Or 4 months, sorry, not 4 weeks, 4 months.
And we can leave the majority in the nuisance and do a line item transfer as needed. But we just need something established in there. So if you want to do 10 and 15, if everybody's okay with that, I can do that as well.
Well, y'all know most of the nuisance and septic is in my precinct, most of it. And so we just haven't had a lot of, we've been paying stipends for a while, but we haven't had a lot of action regarding that.
I will say that when Jerry was doing it and was getting, extra for that, much of the reason why we didn't see it, because he got compliance. He sent him a letter and, after a couple of warnings, they complied to him a lot of times. We didn't have to
As far as we know.
go out there and clean up their.
Didn't run out of anything to do there.
Yeah.
We'll get it all done, but there wasn't much money to deal with either, so. You couldn't do very much,
It's been 20,000 since I've been commissioner in the nuisance property.
but that's 20,000 is nothing for nuisance. There's.
I've had a building in my precinct ever since I've been in office, had complaints. It's a fire hazard next to the house next door. We didn't have the money.
No.
If you have the county go in there and tear it down, then they have to haul it off.
You
That
can't
costs
just
money.
tear down a building. There's too much red tape
Well,
before you get there.
We tore down 2 since I've been commissioner
Wow.
and they didn't get done right.
well, it's an old house that's had a fire.
What did we tear down?
We tore down on Griffin Lane. We paid 17,000, went out for bid and they got it. And Jerry was a nuisance officer at that time. And then we finished cleaning up one that Commissioner Herb started in Vincent Development, a yellow house. It made the news and stuff, but there was still some following. Liens were threatened. but the paperwork never got done. And so there were no liens on those properties, because we do the paperwork, right?
Responsible for the lien.
The nuisance officer at that time. But it was miscommunication. I talked to Jerry at that time. I talked to Craig. I talked to Kelly. And we figured out there was a break-in chain of command.
There was no structure, there was no, again, policy, there was no procedure, not just the policy, but a procedure on how to do things. And they missed that. And so. And the only bad thing about the nuisance with case by case is that it's a constant battle. So how do you determine if you had to go and put a letter on someone's door because the grass is high? So we're gonna pay them what, $100 to go do that?
75.
Okay, $75 just to go do the letter? I mean, like, where are you getting these numbers? You just pull them wherever.
Where you get your numbers?
Where did I get my number? Because it is actually a salary, like, that is something that he is gonna be doing probably more than likely on a.
Word probably is what scares me,
Correct.
because that's the way it's been for a while. We've been paying $10,000 till I got upset about it 4 years ago and said, why are we paying $10,000 when nothing's changing? We don't know nothing's happening. So we broke out Jerry's stipend for $10,000 for fire marshal, $10,000 for nuisance, or 5,000.
He only got a $2,000 fine.
Oh, we just took the nuisance off of him. So because nuisance wasn't happening, so we said, we'll just pay you the $10,000 for fire marshal.
Pretty sure he said, I don't want to do
Yes,
that.
yes.
We got paid more because it was a lot.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, who are you talking? I know that. I get the call every week.
Okay, I'll put the nuisance policy, if it's where y'all want it, I'll put it on the agenda for next time. We'll go from there.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and split those out so that it's available if it's.
Sure. Okay. What else was there, Alicia? Keep up.
I don't remember.
Right. We need to talk about the request from today, so.
District. The fire request.
Hey, what do y'all want to do on the fire?
Since they presented, I say yes. Since that's what we talked about.
Anybody else? Good. Lisa, what's the fire number?
They are currently at 45, so for it to be raised to 55, and then Stinnett was 53 or 43 raised to 53.
What's the budget number?
Oh, current is 45.
No, the code. I'm
Jail
sorry.
code,
Yeah,
sorry.
the jail code. Yeah.
It's 543,
Okay.
Department 543. Fire.
Okay, are y'all, everyone in agreement to raise it, or? I've only heard from one.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. We'll raise that up then.
Museum requests.
Museum request on salary for Ashley and for Dee Dee. She requested,
Current salary is the $1,800 annual raise that was discussed for the director, is 58.
Thoughts? Anybody? Anybody have anything?
Jeopardy music needs to be played.
Mm-hmm. It'd be way better. Yeah.
Since we haven't really done a salary analysis of directions and all that stuff, I say yes. I don't know what we're gonna do. How are we gonna defend it? I mean, that's weird. Yeah, it's all about feelings right now till we get a plan. So today I feel okay.
This is just my opinion, is the library director is now at 50, with the $3,500 raise y'all gave her, 59,800. She has 3 different locations that she has to manage.
Yeah, we start comparing
And I-
departments, everybody's gonna start infighting.
Yep.
You can't get into
You
that.
open that door, it's gonna be fun.
Everybody does something different.
Everybody works as hard as everybody else.
I presented a sample structure that I would.
I like
but
it.
Eventually y'all will look at and maybe do something with, but
8 years from now.
Do y'all want to talk about that?
Back in February last year, yes.
Well, we didn't have a plan.
I always
You
have
came
a
up with a
plan.
good
Nobody wanted to hear it. Yeah, Ben, everybody didn't want to hear it.
I'll say everybody, because I was here before you and I started saying that.
Yeah.
8 years ago. Now we're here, so.
Don't worry about salaries. It all worked out.
and it's nothing to do with, actually, I know she does a wonderful job, but I just, the practicality of it is what I was looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we say no, then we're back to the morale issue.
Y'all are elected to make these decisions, not me.
I say yes.
Saying yes to what?
What Ashley
Raise
requested.
her up from 56. She requested 60.
Oh, 60. I looked at.
Do that.
And then to move Dee Dee up from 53 to 56. So
I say.
my thought is that we raised Nancy up. She does manage 3 different locations. Ashley only has 1 location. I agree with that. I agree that it's just a difference in having to manage 3 separate actual locations as opposed to 1. So I say leave it. It's just my thought.
I say match the library directors and y'all deal with it next year, and it'll be another several years before, because y'all, this can of worms that I said at the last meeting has gotten open because we have refused to come up with a solution to this. Is gaining speed, and it's just now getting started. So. I'm gonna find. I'll be watching. But match the library director with the museum.
Do you have an opinion?
What?
Ben, do you have an opinion? I'm trying to hurry.
This is our court though.
Okay, so we've got to raise it. We've got to leave it. We've got to raise it.
I agree with Chris's figures.
Guys, opinion?
What you're proposing is raise,
Oh, I'm not proposing.
well, what you said was on Ashley's.
She asked for 60,000. So, and then comment was made to make it the same as the library.
Currently 59,800.
So Nancy would be 60 as well.
Well, no, we'd just raise them both to 59,800.
Oh, yes, that's what I meant. Yeah.
If you say no, then you get to have the conversation, well, even though it's one place she's managing, where just deputy clerks starting out aren't managing anything, and no respect to them. But if you want to start having these little divisions of 3 branches versus 1, Part of the justification for raising Nancy was that it was higher than the starting clerk. They don't manage anything. So we start doing all these divisions. I mean, it's,
Actually, you gonna do nuisance also?
you're getting into a whole,
You won't like
getting
it.
into a whole bunch of fighting.
I think those kind of departments need to stay the same. That's like saying the district clerk and the county clerk's not. You can't start pitching everybody against each other. And that's what you're doing, putting everybody against each other. And I don't want to see everybody together.
Okay, so make them both the same. Is that
I'd say
the
they're both the same.
consensus?
But I mean, no offense to Dee
59,
Dee.
8?
I say no offense to Dee Dee, but that stays, and if the county gets a raise, if we authorize raises, she'll just benefit from that.
Dee Dee's on the deputy, so you have your deputy 1, 2, and 3. So that's kind of where she sits. So
She's at a 3 right now, right? And she wants to move her to a 1.
is at the 3. So, if, she wants, request to go to the next step or, however,
Mhm.
that's up to y'all.
Right.
But as a 3, she should get paid more.
No, that's what a 3 gets paid.
The thing goes as first place.
So Ashley's wanting to move her to a 2.
He wants to move her to a 1.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 59, 8 for the
For Ashley
director, okay?
and for the director.
And then on the salary for her assistant, it's gonna continue to be, is that correct?
That's just what Dwight said.
That's what Dwight said, okay, so. There's deputy 2, which. If y'all bumped her up to the next. Level. Or the deputy 1, which is what was.
What's the deputy 2?
The deputy. You're fine.
Oh, I can't put my eyes on that.
You've never done that in the past, told department heads and
Oh,
what
it's 54.
we trust what they bring to us and just say, yeah, if you want to move them up to a deputy 1, then you got it. So we start doing that.
We'll start micromanaging.
We are.
Yep.
And I mean, we just told like Kelly, elected officials and department heads, we trust where they're gonna move their clerks. That's why we wanted it tiered and they tier it and they're responsible for it. So if you start micromanaging this stuff, then you're taking that control back. But you gotta manage before you can micromanage, but I mean, we haven't done this in the past. People bring it where they want to put their deputy clerks and we say, good job. Thank you. Just as a reminder.
Thank you. Cause I'm going on feelings today, as we do every meeting.
But there is gonna be a point where there's gonna have to be a no and hard decision, but you gotta make sure it's consistent as a court, or we're gonna lose whatever little morale we have with our employees.
Personally, whether they get it.
Until we start talking about salaries.
Yeah.
And then morale goes out the window. Because I tried to do that and there was a hand raised and said, why do you want to pit people against each other? And that's what happens. We start talking hard things about personal benefits and salaries and everybody starts getting defensive about it. And that's not like gripe, but I'm just saying, I mean, because I know you were in that meeting when somebody raised their hand and said, why do you want to pit somebody against each other? When I asked, is everybody happy with the salaries? A hand was raised and said, why do we want to pit each other? Because we're all elected to deal with the taxpayers and we want to talk about taxpayers until it comes time to our benefits and our salaries. And then we forget that part that we're here for the taxpayer. So there is good morale, but it depends on what we're talking about. Because then we start talking, morale's good until about May, June, until we start talking about raises and insurance and healthcare insurance premiums. And then everybody gets defensive. And I'm glad that everybody's here because 8 years ago, nobody was here. They watched what we made decisions on and then we were the bad guy. So I'm glad we're getting input, but morale's good when there's not hard decisions to be. And then the morale's good because everybody's unified on what they're not consistent. They're not making it. The morale's good against the Commissioners Court. Well, but for the most part, it's good until we talk hard things, hard decisions that affect internally.
Okay. So
I know.
move Ashley to 59-8 and Dee Dee to 56 or to Deputy 1. Is that the consensus?
Good with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Constable Precinct 2. We had this discussion before. We said no on the deputies. Why not?
Okay.
Sure.
I just pulled this from Amy. In this, let me take a picture of it real quick. If I didn't print one for me.
You keep it, you can keep it.
Will you look off with?
I'll just share with, that's all right.
So I did pull this from Amy, and it's just the different salaries of the other law enforcement agencies in the county, as well as the Jinkies salary. So I just want y'all to see the differences in a starting out field deputy and a starting out jailer. They're starting out at 65,500. The constable's offices are the lowest paid salaries of elected officials in the entire county. So I just at least wanted to give you all this information so that way you see it for yourself. There's like, I think I get 58 is my starting salary. So, I mean, you're talking about at least $6,000-7,000 difference, if not a little bit more. And a starting jailer, a starting deputy. And I did hear a comment last week that I really don't appreciate about how the deputies are working more than a constable. But the deputies are not having to deal with any administrative duties. They don't have to be on call 24/7. They're not answering the emails. They're not running an entire office, having to do state mandates, having to comply with TCOL, having to comply with the county business, having to do budget workshops. They're not having to deal with any of that. I am the only one currently in the county that has worked constable's office and a deputy position. And don't get me wrong, deputies do work hard. They do a lot. I did a lot. But I also got to go home on my days off. And I also got to not have to worry about any administrative duties that had to do with the county or the state. So I do a lot more than is said a lot of the times. And I really do not appreciate that comment. So I wanted to be up here to let y'all know that these are the different salaries. So that way y'all can consider it. Whether y'all do it or not, I mean, I don't have control over that. I want to present the facts. So, about the facts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Here you go, Dwight. I'll give you this. Thank you.
Okay, so the question on the table was the deputy. For fund for a deputy.
Unpredictable.
So we approved the administrative person part-time in a previous meeting. She asked for administrative and a deputy, and we said no to the deputy. And so that's what's on the table today, I guess, the request for the deputy back on the table.
As I have a feeling everyone's gonna want more piece of the pie. I still say no.
So this is $5,280 based on 16.50 an hour. Is that what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
For a deputy position. I'm still no. Anybody else? We already had this discussion before and we said no.
Yeah, we do that. a lot, though.
So we've got 3 no's. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's a no then. Gary or Chris, do you guys have an opinion or?
No.
Okay, Chris?
I shared my opinion earlier about, I mean, we've already talked about this. Shared my opinion 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And just be clear, and I think I said no to this year, but hopefully we'll have some structure and I want to revisit it next year if you even want to. Which is the case with everything, actually.
4 times the charm.
4 times the charm. My foot went to sleep.
Okay, so y'all saw the information that Leisha sent out, just that her and Tiffany worked on. Do y'all have any thoughts on that? A lot of scenarios there. And I think we could definitely look, at those. I mean, we pretty much got those steps into place for all of our clerk positions. We need to stick to those. Do y'all
So
want to have a discussion over this or?
I don't know about in budget season.
I don't agree with that today.
Yeah.
I don't like that today.
Yeah, because
Maybe down the road, yes.
I mean, I do like it. I like the way it's presented. I like the setup but I do think I don't even think it's just even though we'll make the final decision, I think this should be all of the elected officials and us kind of like talking about it. That's what we've been yelling for years is let's all get together and talk about salaries and what are we going to do?
Before.
We've tried that.
It didn't work.
But we didn't have anything.
We don't
present.
decide. Say we try to.
Different opinions.
Yeah, but it's up to us to make the choice and people have to deal with it. So at some point, we're gonna have to have hard decisions. We can't just say we've tried it and it hasn't been done. Y'all, in next year have to make a decision.
At what
We're gonna
point,
get pissed.
at what point do you make that decision?
In a non-electoral year is when you kind of get a basis. So everybody knows if we make a decision regarding salaries, no one's running for that office. There's nobody in mind, no person, no assistant. And then you kind of set a base rate and then you can, it's just setting a base rate. And then we set a tier system that's more accurate and cohesive throughout the whole county. And we set up, again, I know I'm talking the way corporations run, but you have reviews and annual evaluations. And you don't just say, I like you today, Department 2. You're now Clerk 2. There's a system. It's how managers manage all across the world. And so, now when I say evaluation, I'm not talking about us evaluating anybody. You evaluate your own employees and determine if they go to tier 2 or tier 3 or whatever we set up. Instead of just going, you've been here quite a while, you deserve it now. It creates chaos because there's no system. And I think these are the discussions we need to make. And then setting newly elected salaries need to be set when nobody's running for office that year, where we have 2 years that there aren't any elections, and we set that so nobody gets offended or feels like it's a personal attack or that we're
It's odd years.
an odd year. Yeah,
It doesn't matter the elections, it matters when they're applying.
right. So you have 6
So you
months to
like
kind of,
last year, I said,
Right,
we've got to start talking about this after the budget year.
Well,
And then we
Right.
started talking about, oh, nobody wants to talk about it.
we're in budget discussion right here. I mean, this ain't what we're talking about. So,
true. That's a good point.
We've said that every year.
Okay, what else do we have to talk about on the budget? Anything? Am I forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But did not make it.
The right time is January. Gotta do it.
It may not.
First meeting in January.
It may happen.
Um,
We'll just write the shit.
yes. No. Okay, do y'all have anything else on the budget? Can you think of anything?
Well, if y'all want to discuss the budget scenarios that I sent over with the tax rates. That does include the $150 a month raise for all employees in all of the. Comes out to like 1,800 a year.
Right.
And just my recommendation as an auditor, I would suggest keeping the tax rate at 50 cents.
We're not setting the tax rate.
No,
No,
not,
we're not.
Oh, okay.
no. Just,
no,
Scenarios.
No, that's what
it's not on the agenda. We don't have,
okay,
until next.
okay.
I just wanted.
Yeah, gives us,
the financial aspect and how,
uh,
property values are, that's kind of.
yeah,
financially, I
it
think
gives us something
would be
to
a good place to.
think about. We'll make all these changes and then Leisha will send out another budget and we'll decide on the tax rate next.
Okay.
Yeah, to set the tax rate. This was just the public hearing day. So, and, updates, and then we'll get those made. See where we're at. Okay. If there's nothing else, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
We didn't.
Oh, no, I missed one. Sorry. Again.
Salary.
Yeah, item 23 is to consider and or approve salaries and allowances for elected county and precinct officials. So that's what was published in the paper. It also gives you the information I attached also gives you cert pay, phone allowance, so totals on all of that. I think the only change that, to my knowledge, that we've had is Dwight, Commissioner Kirksey said that he would not be taking the raise. So none of the commissioners court or the county judge has elected to take the raise. And Dwight said he would not take the raise. So everything else remains the same. So any questions on that, or do I hear a motion to approve those salaries as presented? I don't know if I need to, well, they were in the paper.
Well, did you put all the allowances in the paper as well?
We never do that. We just always put, well, evidently so, but we've always just used that.
We might want to do a correction and post it again.
Okay, I think we're out of a time.
Well, I didn't know if you could, because I know like it was set, but so that people could talk about it. But I don't know if you could repost it so that the public knows what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know what the.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve? Salaries as presented
With their,
with their phone allowance if they get cert pay and,
1,800.
their $1,800
raise.
raise.
Just put the vacation payout in that for the elected officials as well?
No,
Cause
It does, we have a blip at the bottom of it that states any applicable vacation payout would be.
accrued vacation and or sick time if applicable are paid out upon leaving office. So. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve salaries
I move to approve the proposed salaries
and allowances?
and allowances.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Okay. All right, now do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that too.
Motion and second, all in favor? Meeting adjourned.